Hey there, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. Hope you guys are doing well.
We're always hoping you're doing really well, and there's nuclear quantum lasers, pew, 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 in the house first.
All right, so cool. Number one, and we got Chris Marr also. Calvin's in the house.
And yeah, but it's going to fill up in just a minute. This is kind of short notice, but thanks for showing up.
And so, it's been a busy morning for us. We've really have been very busy, but busy is good. Yes. And we like to help as many people as possible. So, the whole morning was basically just answering emails and catching up with scheduling people. And here we go. We got Rose War. We got Susan Donahue, Osboy, Rick Moore.
Oh, this is great. Miss Annie Luhu. And I think this is Serena, if I see it right. It's great to see you guys. Oh, and Miss Greta. There's Miss Greta. Oh, and Ron. Hello.
So good to see everybody. And Michael Lanti, you made a live show. That is awesome. Always good to have you as well. I know you've been with us a long time too. And we have Hips IV6. I guess that's right. Formerly. Oh, what happened? You changed. This is major news. You changed your name.
Yes. Is it a personality change too? Because I'm sure we'll love you either way.
Most definitely. Teto Z as well, new viewer. Good to see you as well. And we got Joe in. And Julio is with us as well. Yeah, I know. I think you've been with us for like 3 years. The whole 3. I think, gosh, we're going on 3.5. I'm losing track of time. Dark Agenda will be crushed. And Jeff is in the house as well. That's part of what we want to understand and get across, because if you guys were with us yesterday, we've been talking about like the different upgrades that's going on, and it's not just Cindy and I that have been getting upgrades. Other light workers, starseeds out there are getting upgrades too. So what's happening, it's like, well, in some ways it's we obviously know we have a big war going on, right? And what's happening right now is both sides are receiving supplies, so to speak, receiving intel, greater understanding of what's going on. And that's what we got this morning. And we want to get that across to you guys, a clearer understanding of exactly what they are doing and how they're moving forward with their plans. And then at the same time, that lets us know some things that we should avoid, most definitely, and clear ourselves away from.
Yeah, it's about starting to tap into your instincts and your likes and your dislikes. And when something feels off and when something feels not quite right, you believe yourself.
Most definitely. So we have Elijah and we have Chadesh in the house as well, and Christine MacArthur from New Zealand. Good to see you as well. And Calvin invented a cocktail called an upgrade. There you go.
You can be our resident bartender, Calvin, when we get that giant place sometime.
Oh boy, there goes Nuke. He's in the know there. Yeah. So yeah, another year wiser, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how it goes. You want to gather that information and those experiences for sure.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike. They say star seeds, but never say how they germinate and start to grow, right? A star seed needs its water, which is the energy right now making us ready to grow and bloom. And that's exactly right. That is exactly right. And we are being watered right now. It feels amazing. So, today we started off today, like I said, we just basically catching up on emails, scheduling people, things like that, responding to questions, and then went into our QiGong and we did our standing, which gathers energy, helps build the light body, helps build our Wei Qi field, which will help to keep away any dis-ease, both physical dis-ease, things caused by viruses and the like that, as well as dark energies. So QiGong can be used to protect us and help us and heal us in so many different ways. And she's drawing what she was seeing, like on the changes on my light body. And like we were talking about upgrades, so I know I've received upgrades twice, one huge one, like I'd never felt anything like that before, about a week ago. And then a couple nights ago received another upgrade. And Cindy did too. And it was going to help her communicate, and it has, because the channeling, like today, we were able to get 14 minutes, and it didn't burn her heart or give her any discomfort at all. So, and a very, very, very clear, strong connection.
Yeah, and instead of it burning my heart, the connection just dropped, I'd much prefer that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as Susan says, our superpowers are kicking in. I could feel it. I really can feel it. Man, it feels like, wow, we could do some wild stuff. I mean, we could definitely do some amazing healing, and that's going to all just it's just going to keep increasing. We are going to be able to do amazing things. And Daryl mentioned Jesus, and Jesus said, "Ye shall do greater things than I." And that's the time frame that we're heading into. That's exactly the time frame that we're heading into. As we could view, we could view the Holy Spirit as the divine feminine in many ways, and we have been disconnected from that on purpose, completely on purpose. And that has led to all sorts of issues with the planet, as well as the ability for us to do things that are horrible for the planet and all the life on it. So we need to find balance again. And we are finding balance and recognizing that, when we talk about Ki, Chi, Prana, Vril, it's of the same substance. We're talking about the life force, which is coming into us in ever-increasing waves of beautiful energy that is being directed to us by Source for these times to help eradicate the dark age that we've been in and go into a new age of light and love and unity and brotherhood and sisterhood.
Yeah, it's all going to change. It's just, I think what's happening now is going to be a little bit painful for a lot of people. But there's reward at the end of that. And I think that's what they want us to focus on, is the reward, not so much about, how difficult it is right now. They don't want our focus there at all.
No, and so again, it's about staying out of the fray, because we're going to start to see, we're already seeing, just go on Twitter, go on Twitter, and you'll see just the chaos that's out there. So we have to not allow ourselves to be pulled in by the chaos. So Michelle says, you must be very right about what you talk about on both your channels. They cut off all notifications. Oh, I know. They do. And we get attacks all the time in many different ways. And it's almost comical as well, And
also, last time we did channeling stuff, they put in like 20, and I want to say thank you to Starla for pointing that out to us. They put in 20 commercials.
Yeah, so when you do a video, anything that we do live automatically gets hit yellow. So it's not green, which means that they have to review it before they're going to fully monetize it. But I'm still able to put commercials in. So I put 3 commercials in for an hour program. And, I never really go above 3. That's all I'll ever do is 3. And when we checked it in the morning, people were saying there's like 20 commercials. Well, they overrid that, and they added like 17 in addition to the 3. And they've done that a couple of times before. And what it is they don't want people listening to it. So they want people to say, oh my God, they're just all about money. Look at all these commercials and not listen to it. This is one of the techniques that they use. And, it's par for the course. That's one of the ways they attack and try to keep, keep people from watching stuff that is very truthful and very on par with exactly what's happening. So happy Sunday, Mary.
Yay, happy Sunday. Yay.
So yeah, that's part of what is definitely going on. It's all control. They control, they watch. I got rid of my Facebook. We've kept Cindy's just to communicate to a few clients, but I think we will get rid of that as well. There are other alternatives coming through now that are not controlled by them. So, there again, I'm so glad that you guys are able to join us. The second channel here is growing well. We are on Brighty and BitChute as well, if anything ever happens. And also, I don't point it out enough, and I will do upgrades whenever we're able to have the time to our website. But we do have the website too, evolutionaryenergyarts.com. So, and I used to do a little bit of a blog on that too, which we just haven't had the time because we've been just so busy. But I want to give you guys that as well, so you don't lose in contact with us no matter what happens. We'll see about what we can do to always stay communicating. Every video we do goes up on Ko-Fi and also on Patreon. So you could always catch us through there as well. As this battle keeps heating up and getting, more and more contested, as the dark ones are definitely doing a forward press. There's a lot more dark energies out there right now.
Yeah, and they're ramping it up, and they are taking advantage of people and their weaknesses, and we have to guard against that. We have to take what is ours. If we have a good cheery attitude and everything is going well, claim that, and don't let somebody step in your life and mess that up and cause problems to lower your vibration.
Yeah, and they use all the things like the eclipses and stuff for their benefit, and we have to see, part of the problem is that we've been taught in Western society that so many things are evil and to avoid them, such as the phobia about astrology. But astrology is simply part of this matrix's programming. So when we understand that, then we could start to get a little bit more insight, as well as using other tools like meditation, QiGong, Tai Chi, Reiki, other things like that, as well as perhaps the tarot, help people sometimes get a clear vision.
Inspiration, stuff like that. Tarot cards can be so inspiring. And, for the longest time, I thought with tarot, you had to be gifted the deck. No. Go out and find something that you enjoy, you love, that speaks to you, and get it for yourself, because they can be really helpful.
Most definitely. Well, so thank you so much, Elijah, for praying for us. We appreciate the prayers and all. And Scott joined us and didn't really miss anything. We were just kind of recapping. And so we want to go ahead and let you know what we got today. So what's happening is the channels are getting clearer, most definitely. And Cindy was able to connect quickly to two.
It was weird. Yeah, it was like one channel channeling another channel channeling me.
Yeah, that was super cool. So I'm going to start with what we got, and then we'll go back to taking questions and more stuff. And who do we have a connection with today?
We have an Arcturian connection today that is also connected to Laurel, that is connected to me.
Is there a name for this Arcturian connection?
I'm so unclear on the name, but I don't don't know why this comes. Zelda comes to mind.
Zelda, okay. And what does Zelda want to communicate to everyone?
Mostly the Arcturians want to teach us about our light bodies and what's happening to them. The separation of energies that can be quite confusing and quite painful for the human collective. Our light bodies are coming online. For many people, this is painful. For other people, this is joyful, and they're growing and they're expanding. Laurel is wearing a helmet. She's in a captain's chair. She wants to talk about the energies, the separation of energies, and what to watch out for. She's telling me that more people than ever are being used remotely by the Draco to cause problems, incite violence. These people in your life, you will have to simply ignore them or let them go. Do not let these energies enter your life. Do not let these energies enter your life. Be aware that the Draco are extremely active right now. They're active in the political arena. They're active in the collective. Extremely important to use your discernment and your natural ability to separate these energies out of your life.
What humans are reporting directly to the Draco?
Anybody that is in what you would call politics in your government, they report to them one way or another. Some are reporting directly, some are not aware they're reporting directly, but their thoughts and actions are being downloaded to be manipulated at a later time. Draco are also picking out people who could be problematic to create chaos in the collective.
You have warned us that civil war is coming, as well as world war, and also potentially some major earth disasters at the same time. Do we have a time frame for that, or do we know what's going to be the thing that we should look for?
People's rising in anger is going to be our best timeline that we can give you. Is watch what happens around you. We want you to keep in mind that this is very much like giving birth to a child. This time is very painful, but we do not want you to focus on this pain. We want you to focus on the reward. Everything will be made new. We just want you to get through this as whole and complete as possible.
Are there any areas in the country that people should migrate away from, if possible? Are there any areas that are more dangerous than others?
We feel that people in the cities need to take extra precaution, or they do need to build their own communities stronger. There should be no fear with where you are, as it's a matter of building community now and having people around you that you can trust and understand. People are anchored all over the country to help pull in the light. All over the world. Also on other planets, the same issue is going on. Slightly different ways, but it's the same throughout the galaxy. As above, so below. What you see going on in your world is happening on many other worlds.
Are there any planets or moons in our solar system that have advanced civilizations on them that we haven't been told of currently in this dimension, in this density? And also, are there other civilizations on these planets and moons, perhaps in other densities that we're not aware of?
The government is keeping so much from you. There's life on many other planets, all across the galaxy, beings exactly like yourself, that feel like you do, that think like you do, and everywhere things are changing. You will be made aware of this soon.
So even in our own solar system, there are other planets and moons that are populated.
Indeed, there are many other planets, moons, places of population that you have not been taught about. You were never alone. You are never alone.
And so when civil war comes, we shouldn't really pick a side, as we should stay out of the fray. We should stay out of the lower vibrations.
Pick your own side. Choose yourself. Choose your family. Choose your children. Do not get involved in the violence. Do not get involved in the destruction. Do not lower your vibration. Do not panic. Do not fear where you are. Hold on to the higher vibrations. Hold on. Continue to think upward, upward, upward. Do not sink low into the political realm. Do not sink low into I'm losing the connection.
We had talked about this virus, quote unquote, as not being really a virus, but being more of an entity. Can you elaborate?
It is going to change the way you think and feel. It's already changing the way many people think and feel. We do want people to take precaution. We do not want to send people out to get sick. However, you can raise your vibration and you can avoid it. You can also detach from it.
In a sense, if this is an entity and something that changes our minds, our thoughts, our frequency, it's sort of, I guess we could look at it as almost like a zombie apocalypse type thing, in that this is something that would turn people into perhaps willless, not doing their own will, but mindless automatons doing the will of the Dark Ones.
This is extremely concerning because it can affect people's minds, actions, and ways. This is why it is time for the separation of energies. If those around you feel as if they could cause problems, they could be in the grasp of this entity,
So this entity that is this dis-ease that is spreading, do we know it by a name, or is it a singular entity, or is it, well, to use a biblical term, legion, many?
you can call it this, if you will, whatever seems fitting for you for this dis-ease, this illness, this sickness that's afflicted humanity.
And the VAX that is to come, how will this affect humans?
Do not get the vaccine. They are trying to keep your vibration low. It can affect in many ways. There are ways to detox from this vaccine. I don't think people want to do that. It will affect you.
Will it make you more susceptible to the lower energies?
It will make you. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm losing it.
Come.
Hold on. It'll make you more of an open channel for the Draco. It's not to say you can't get rid of it, because you can. We would rather humans not go down that road.
So in a sense, it's gonna make it easier for them to possess and control you.
Yes, it's like hacking. It's like creating a back door. If you're a hacker or if you write code, it's like putting this back door into the unit to give it direct access.
Thank you for that information.
We're going to release the channel.
Thank you, be well. So that was the end of that one. So what are your thoughts out there, guys? This basically, so what we're getting is that the VAX is kind of like a way to hack you and take over control of you. And think about it. Think about what we're already seeing out there with this chaos. It is like so many people are possessed. And, this, again, to go biblical, is very much like, woe to you, O earth and sea, for the devil comes with great wrath, knowing he has but short time. And that's exactly, what we are seeing right here. And the devil being the Draco, and, the 13 families that they control through the monetary system and the politics, the political structure.
Yeah, and Scott's talking about creating a firewall, and yeah, I do believe that's possible. It's possible to keep that out. There's a lot to consider. We have a lot to face, but I got from it all that they don't want us to dwell on, the negative stuff that's happening. They want us to keep the image of a happy outcome kind of all the time.
Like Diana says, that's why Cindy almost lost the channel right there, because I think that was a real important Yeah, that was a real important piece of info. So I just basically put my hand on her and started to send energy and focusing on connecting with the Pleiadians, with Laurel, and we were able to get it right back. Our powers are increasing. We are going to be we already are such a danger to them, because we are going to increase to such a level that they will not be able to control us anymore, and it's already happening. And if we learn that this is a multidimensional battle, our intent can do tremendous things as we come online and realize our powers, our abilities, and we start to focus them together. We could make their whole system just crumble, and that's part of us coming online right now.
Yeah, a lot is going on too, and our brains are changing, bodies are changing, and whenever our energy field changes, or our light body, that's going to create hormone changes, because all those little chemical things firing off in your body are creating that energy body. So it's also a confusing time, and I think that's why the Arcturians are chiming in too, because if anybody can understand the energy body, they can understand the energy body. And I think it's if we don't understand something, we might become afraid of it. And I think those people who might be in like physical pain sometimes, like I get in physical pain because there's things that I can't seem to work through, but I'm trying to work through it. I am working through them. I got to watch my words. I am working through them, but the vibration's going up regardless. So sometimes it's like really painful.
Yeah, so that would be a good time. Can you do a little tuning?
Yes.
So with this knowledge in mind, let's send out our intent and our focus and our prayers to the higher energies to amplify what we send out. And let's send out an energy wave that will, destroy and annihilate this virus / dark entity and this whole plan right now. So let me grab this. So guys, send your intent, as Cindy's going to do the tuning forks, and I'm going to send some energy and to all you guys, and with your energy, let's amplify that. Let's send it out. Let's see this whole tangled web that they're weaving cave in and fall apart on top of them.
And if you have a crystal or something like a crystal rock, something, grab it, because it'll help amplify also. Okay. Something's happening there.
So thank you guys for sending that energy out. We have to do things like this more often and do it directly and see their plan failing. Honestly, I was just kind of envisioning the V just kind of going up in flames, seeing everything crumbling, all as far as the dark plans and the dark power, seeing it all just getting washed away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That's a nice vision of all the negativity just being washed away, and the positive stuff being able to take root and start to grow.
Yeah, and as Michelle says, that they do put those things up in the sky and they wave down and we breathe them in. But if our vibration is really high, we just fry the circuitry, so we're able to just eliminate them from having any effect on us. And I think a lot of people have noticed things coming out of their skin. unusual things. There's been so many people with quote unquote Morgullin's disease, as well as other stuff, and a lot of it's nanotech that's coming out of us. So we got to keep purging, and keep lifting up our vibrations, keep connecting to the higher realms. And, if you want to call on Jesus for help, or call on Buddha for help, or call on Muhammad for help, or call on Vishnu or Shiva, or just the Great Spirit or the Divine Feminine, whatever is comfortable to you, it's the frequency you're putting out that counts. It's the love vibration and the compassion and the gratitude too. That's what really counts. It's our vibration, because our vibration will bring us to the benevolent beings. It'll make that solid connection to true higher powers that have nothing but our best wishes in mind. So use whatever lingo that feels good to you. Again, it's all about what's coming out of your heart, and take that and combine it with the focus and the purpose directed from the mind and the higher self, and that can definitely happen.
Yeah, that can happen. So just listen to your heart. Whatever you feel drawn to, that's a good indicator that being can guide you in the right way.
Yeah, and it's up to you. It's up to whatever feels right to you. As many have recognized that there's most definitely divine guidance that's been given to humanity time and time again. Interesting too how it comes out in waves, and I've talked about that before. Like if you look around 500, 600 BC, you had so many amazing beings come in a wave that really did change our understanding of a lot of things. And then we've had other really insightful beings come in starting in the late 1800s, and again start to unify Western thought with Eastern thought. And so in this great age now, with the ability to study all the different traditions, it really does help expose the light. And again, this is most definitely the apocalypse, the great unveiling. And so one of the biggest tools they've used is that division, and getting everybody to think, well, my way is the only way, and that's not really the case. As we go forward, we'll start to take what is good and what is benevolent, and we'll just really embrace that moving forward, and each person able to use their own comfort zone as far as whatever is your comfort zone in a spiritual sense.
Yeah, and don't let anybody dictate to you what's right and what feels good to you either. If somebody's trying to say, well, this being is wrong, or this being did this or that, if you feel pulled to a certain entity or spirit or something, get curious, find out why, learn more about that.
Yeah, and that's part of like in our channelings, and the more advanced beings, like say the Pleiadians that we're talking to, and the Arcturians, they recognize this, and we've talked about recently how when we look at the planets and the stars, these are angelic beings. These are very, very high level beings, very advanced beings in many levels, and so they're all around us. And we have talked about how beneficial it is to receive information from the sun. And they don't want us receiving information from the sun. Hence, you better put on layers of sunscreen. All this fear, to also keep us from getting our downloads, because the sun is a relay from source. And that's how, source is giving us communications and knowledge, information. Light is knowledge. It's all receiving, we're receiving it through our DNA, and it's giving us our upgrades. And as Cindy has channeled recently too, the very ether around us, that which out of which the manifest universe comes from the ether. The ether is changed. It's literally structurally changed we are mutating. I know Susan has talked about third strand DNA in a lot of people, and we have seen kids, be documented with 3 strands of DNA. And when we look at, why 12 tribes of Israel, why 12 zodiac signs, everything 12, 12, 12, why? Well, it's because originally we had 12 strands of DNA before the interference, and that's where we're heading back to. And that's going to enable us to operate more fully in different densities.
Yeah, as long as we're not afraid of it and we just let these energies flow and not worry too much about it. I think one important thing to do is to process your emotions and process what you think, feel, and see. If it's different, write that information down. That's good information, and it needs to be processed and then moved on. So that's really important.
So I want to thank you guys for joining us again, and we will be putting something up on Evolutionary as well, possibly even going live there. I feel like we really got to gather our forces now, and it's more than time to circle the wagons. It's time for us to push back as much as possible.
Use that with your energy and intent. Never for a moment ever feel like you can't do anything because you feel isolated. They want you to feel like you can't do anything. So use your intent, throw light on the situations that you feel need light, and it'll help.
As always, guys, thank you so much for being part of our family and also your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.